And we all know Yvonne Orji is a comedian. First of all, she's a Nigerian, and the normal everyday Nigerian, average Nigerian is hilarious, it's funny. So now imagine a Nigerian comedian who lives in America. Her comedy is basically around her Nigerianness, the fact that she's Nigerian, and she is a good one at that. I feel like she owed it to me to write this book, because the book was just hitting nerves all the way. Pa, 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 pa. By the way, I know some of you will be wondering why I always carry this in my video. This helps me drink a lot of water. I drink 2 of this every day. If I can't drink 2 of this, at least 1 of this every day, and it helps me track down my water intake. So that's just by the way. Let's get right into today's video. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ijoma, but you can call me IJ if you want. This is sincerely IJ. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. If you're already a subscriber, listen, thank you so much. So today we are going to be reviewing a book I just read titled, can you see that? Bamboozled by Jesus. Yvonne Orji. Yvonne Orji wrote this beautiful book. If you don't know who Yvonne Orji is, she's a Hollywood star, but she's originally from Nigeria, but she's an American now. So she's American Nigerian. She's a movie star. Her hit movie show Insecure. If you watch Insecure, you know who she is. She played the role of Molly, Issa's best friend. Yeah, she wrote this amazing book. First of all, I'd like to say that I will consider this review a faith-based content, because you know, as part of my channel, I talk about faith as well, my journey in faith, what I have learned in faith. I'm not perfect, but I try to relay some of the knowledge I know of God to you guys. So I'm going to consider this a faith-based content, because not only is this book a really good book, it is also a book that is going to help you grow your faith. So now, if you've not read Bamboozled by Jesus, or at least have never heard about it, I think this is your chance to get this book. So the title, like I said, is Bamboozled by Jesus: How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. So first of all, if you hear this title, you're going to be like, huh? Like, Jesus bamboozled me, God is a trickster? No, that's why you need to get the book. But then again, you know, I think the reason why she wrote this book is just to show how stubborn human beings can be. So in the book, she talked about her journey. Her parents wanted her to be a doctor so bad, and if you're Nigerian, you know, if you're African, you know, your parents already have cut out dreams, their own dreams that they couldn't pursue, and they want you to do. So she grew up in a household where her parents very much wanted her to be a doctor, but at a point, even though she went to medical school, she did her masters and all that, she did not want to be a doctor. So she had to even move to Liberia just to avoid the confrontation of telling her parents that, listen, I don't want to be a doctor, God is telling me to go this route, and blah 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 and all that. This book is amazing. I don't want to spoil it for you if you intend to get it, but there's nothing short of amazing. And we all know Yvonne Orji is a comedian. First of all, she's a Nigerian, and the normal everyday Nigerian, average Nigerian is hilarious, it's funny. So now imagine a Nigerian comedian who lives in America. So her comedy is basically around her Nigerianness, the fact that she's Nigerian, and she is a good one at that. This book was laced, it has a huge chunk of comedy in it. Not that she was trying to make us laugh or anything, that's just who Yvonne I wanted to say Yvonne Orji is. She's naturally funny. So chapter after chapter, you find some kind of humor, and she talked about how her relationship with Jesus is unorthodox, is unconventional, and people have a problem with that. Like, I don't know how you're going to have a problem with that, and I can relate to it. In Christ there's freedom. You can call your father daddy, and that's what she does. Like, she has this very unconventional way. Now, I'm not saying that because you have an unconventional way you should throw away the basics, you should throw away your faith and be doing what you like. No, she just does not practice her Christianity like how other people do. When you read this book here, your faith is going to be challenged. You are going to talk up, like she talked about the fact that when she came back from Liberia, she didn't have anything, she didn't have money, and here is God telling her that I want you to be a comedian, and she's never done that before. And she was beginning to be afraid. God, how am I going to make people laugh? Because if you know anything about comedy at all, if you've been to comedy shows at least, you know how difficult it is to make people laugh. Making people laugh is not a joke. It is next level, like madness. Imagine somebody is going through depression, somebody is going through anxiety, and you want to make them laugh. You have to be so good. I always say that comedians are the most intelligent people on earth, because how are you going to make somebody laugh, bring them out of your misery, like bring them out of their misery for them to laugh? So yeah, she struggled with that because she was afraid that she was going to get rid of the stage, and God kept saying, trust me. Yeah, so this book, by the time I finished reading this book, it challenged my faith. Like I said, it made me want to trust God more. And not just trusting God, you also have to do your part. You have to be consistent. It made me I'm just saying the things the book made me do and how it has changed my mind and my perception. So this book actually made me want to be more committed to God. First of all, if you do not have a relationship with God, it's very difficult to hear from God. And that is what she was trying to say. You have to have a relationship with God. You have to give time to God. God has to be your priority. So when you wake up in the morning, the first person you talk to is God, instead of going on your phone. That's why I get really pissed off and angry when people are calling me at 6 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Like, yo, I don't need you to come except it's an emergency. But really, to me, I don't do it all the time, but I really want to spend time with God. I want to give God the first of my day. Do you understand? I want to wake up in the morning and talk to God. That is you making God a priority. How to overcome your fears, how to trust Him more and more. Like, she talked about all those things, and you know, she's into acting, and she struggled with balancing her occupation with her faith, because she's in Nollywood. People would automatically judge her and be like, oh, you're into Nollywood, so that means you're going to be kissing people when you're on set. But people always forget that it is a job. When she got her role to be on Insecure, first of all, it was a whole journey to even get in that role. Like, it was I don't want to go into all that. It was a whole journey. It was crazy. How she landed the role was crazy. You can clearly see the hand of God in there somewhere. So when she got the role, she was struggling with how she was going to do nude scenes, because if you've watched Insecure, you realize that Molly has a lot of sex scenes and all that. She had to talk to the producers, the directors, and tell them that, listen, can we not show my very important parts? Like, listen, even writing this book, she said putting the name of Jesus on the book cover cost her a lot, because people, if you're going to write a book, you need people who promote it, you need that, and people were like, she shouldn't put the name of Jesus on it, like, because you want to appeal to people who are not into religion, you want to appeal to people who are not Christian. She's like, yeah, but that is what God says. So it just goes to show that when God says something, He always backs it up. And I like the fact that, like, when for every chapter she writes, she always has this, I don't know if you guys can see this little quotes. Oh, focus. This little quote somewhere. So even if you don't remember anything in the chapter, or if you don't want to read the whole book, you can read. Okay, so for this one, it says, miracles don't make reservations, they don't take appointments, they are the epitome of a walk-in, they just show up. So, like, even if you don't remember anything in this book, at least you remember these small write-ups in this book. And I learned so much. I was with my highlighting a lot of things, like highlighting. the parts that I thought really spoke to me. Honestly, this book really changed. It gave me more confidence in the way I approach God, because most of the time we are quick to condemn ourselves when we fall short or when we do this, but God expects us to fall short. God expects us to sin, if I can say that, because if he didn't expect us to fall short, he wouldn't have said in so many places in the Bible, cast your anxiety unto me, for I care for you, for all I've sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but when we confess with our mouth, you are faithful and just to forgive. Like, he says all those things because he knows we are humans, we are going to fall short. But instead of us condemning ourselves, we should rather take up the position of a king's daughter and come to him and be like, yeah, my father, I'm sorry for what I did. This book made me look at showing up to even my job differently, like the attitude differently, because we always want to I think that as Christians we have put ministry in a box. Ministry always has to be on stage in church singing. It has to be preaching or whatever. But ministry is you are ministry. So even if you are working in a place, you are the minister there. So Pastor Mike has this sermon on YouTube called Who is the Minister? And yeah, that's basically what Yvonne Orji was saying. Everywhere God puts you, it is a strategic move. Of course, if that is your will, if that's his will, sorry, it is a strategic move for God to put you there. So if you find yourself at any place in your life, working or anywhere, you have to be there. When I started to work at YFM, I had some people tell me that like YFM does not fit your faith, because your faith, you're a Christian. YFM they do mostly secular things. In fact, they do 90% secular things. They always play secular music and all that, blah blah blah. I laughed. Most of the time I laughed. And that's what made me relate to Yvonne Orji so much. If I have to give this book stars, I'll give it 5 stars out of 5 stars. It was well written. It made me laugh. It made me have some very important decisions with myself. Like, I actually sat down and had important decisions I had important conversations with myself. Asked myself, Ijoma, where you are right now in life, these people in your life, are they adding anything to you? If they are not, it's time to bounce. So this guy you are talking to, you know that he has red flags, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but you know that his vision does not sit well with yours. He's not the one for you. Why are you still talking to him? He got to go. I had really, really important conversations with myself. Am I being a good friend to my friends? Am I being a good child to my parents? Am I being there for people? Am I, like, those kind of conversations? And some of them are going to take time for them to start showing, but at least I had those conversations, and that's what this book is going to make you feel. It's going to make you have important conversations about even your career, a lot of the decisions you made without asking God, without putting God in the mix. You're going to go back and ask God, I know I didn't seek you first when I was pursuing this, but I'm here and I'm sorry. So can we talk about this? That's exactly what this book did for me. It made me have the honest, authentic conversations with yourself that nobody's going to have with you. And there was a part in there where Yvonne Orji said she wants everybody who reads this book to say that at the end of reading this book, to say, God, I'll have what Yvonne Orji is having. You know how if you go to a restaurant and then you're confused as to what to eat, but then on the next table there's this maybe guy eating something and he's like, this is so delicious. Already you're confused. You're going to tell the waiter, you know what, I can't decide what to eat, I'll just have what he's having. Yeah, it does not mean that you want to be like Yvonne Orji, but you've seen the faithfulness of God in her life. You've seen how great she is now. You've seen how successful she is, and that is because she has been obedient to God every step of the way. It hasn't always been smooth, it hasn't always been rosy, but you want to have what she's having, because at the end of the day, that's the end game. You want to also be bamboozled by Jesus, and also to allow yourself get tricked into living the life of your dreams. So yeah, Yvonne Orji did a fantabulous job at writing this book. I feel like she owed it to me to write this book, because the book was just hitting nerves. all the way. Pa, 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 pa. So yeah, I'll encourage you, if you are not into reading, you can listen to the audiobook. The audiobook is available on all audiobook platforms like Audible, Script. Just so many of them. Apple, I don't know, but there's so many of them. So you can listen to it while you're driving to work, while you're working, or while you're doing whatever, if you're not into reading. But me, I like to hold the book and I like to read it. That's when I feel that I'm reading, and I want to leave it for my generation to come. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, leave it a thumbs up, comments in the comment section if you've read this book. If you've not, comment if you intend to read this book after this review, and let me know what you think. If you don't know where to get it, I can recommend a personal shopper. She shopped it for me from the States, so I can recommend her. I'll leave the link to her Instagram page in the bio, in the description box. Yeah, see you guys next week with another exciting episode. Until then, please continue to have faith in God. Please trust God that He's going to come through for you 1,000,001 times, only if you're obedient to Him. If you decide to lead, if you decide to lean into His leading and do what He says, like just surrender the reins of your life to Him, and that's it. So see you guys next week. Bye. Mwah.